Everyone's kind of here for similar takeaways, right? How do you improve your communication skills? Is it recording?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. So how to improve your communication skills, how to build your network on LinkedIn, how to engage on LinkedIn, and kind of how to come across a little more confident wherever we're talking, whether it's a job interview, whether it's career fair, whether it's talking to maybe your managers at the job, right? So that's exactly what we're going to kind of get into today. I am not with Diamondback. I know a lot of people that are with Diamondback. Diamondback is they're partnering with me for this. So this summer, a company came to me, and this is kind of the backstory, what this is all about, why we're here. There's a lot of things that teach you in class. There's a lot of things that are taught on the job. However, when it comes to communication skills, when it comes to soft skills, that stuff's not taught. However, that is so crucial to your success on how you influence your teams, how you make decisions, how you drive results, how you source capital, how you get your first job. Communication skills is one of the most important things that you can learn. If you're an engineer, the brightest in this room, 4.0 student, 10 out of 10 engineer, but your communication skills 2 out of 10, where do you think you're going to be limited? You're going to be limited pretty low. If you can't influence your team around you, then it's going to be a big challenge for you to level up throughout your career. So that's what this is about. Best part is, I've worked a lot of engineers, my 19 years being in the oil field. My background is not engineering, but I know and I work with a lot of engineers. And I understand that engineering is a skill set. Pickleball is a skill set. Riding a bike is a skill set. Having confident communications is a skill set. It's very uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable right now, but that's part of it. You got to practice it to perfect it, okay? So I want to give a shout out to Diamondback. Real brief, if you want to learn more about Diamondback, please grab her after. However, just a quick shout out. In this industry, I've been in it for about 19 years. You see a lot of companies say a lot of things. Oh, this is who we are. We care about this and all that stuff. You see a lot of companies come to the table. But then you see a lot of companies that actually do care, that actually do help people out, that want to help people, that aren't just here to just turn profit. They're here to actually improve the community, all right? Liberty Energy is one of those companies. The Bettering Human Lives Project. Really love that. Diamondback. It was a great line that I had, that I was talking to someone from Diamondback, and I think it was you, but I don't want to call you out. It was kind of it was a great philosophy. It's like, hey, listen, JP, we can't hire everyone, but we can try to help everyone. So this summer, I started this career launch seminar with a group of interns, and I started taking it around, and Diamondback sent about 21 of their interns that summer to it. And it was so, I guess, it resonated so much with the interns, with the students, about these skill sets that aren't really taught. So from that, kind of spurned this university tour to come to colleges, to talk to engineering students, and to provide them some skill sets. So when you do start your internship, you're not going there clueless, and you're going there with a skill set that you can use, apply, and actually separate yourself from the other students, from the other interns there, so you can rise and shine above the competition, all right? I know we have an hour. This works better if it's an open conversation, if it's a dialogue. I want to thank all y'all for being here. First off, I'm excited about this, especially New York buddies, my Saudi buddies. I dig that. So, okay. No. Yes, absolutely. Hey, y'all get up food. Y'all get food. And also, if you are active in these conversations, we got some swag to hand out, okay? All right, so any questions and all that stuff? You zoned in, Noah? I love it. No, keep it going. You're good. As long as it's recording, I'm good.
These ones are original and these ones are spicy.
I feel like I'm getting better at this.
I want to let y'all know real quick, I've got to take off at 1 for work.
No,
So when I
dude.
get up and leave,
What's more important, this or
we
work?
get
This or how you?
wish
This or paying the bills? What's more important?
they're both important.
No, that's fine. I'll ask. Just connect with us on LinkedIn. So, what are you trying to get at? Is LinkedIn or communication? What do you want to?
Kind of all the above.
Okay.
I found out about this last minute. Something like Diamondback.
So I'll send. So if you connect with me, I'll send you other seminars I've done at universities, so you get the gist of it. Okay.
Awesome.
All right. Just find me on LinkedIn. Connect with her and find me on LinkedIn. Yeah.
Thank you guys.
So remember, he's the one that's leaving early.
Right.
He's the one that doesn't care about me. I'm going to take that personal. So wait, are you from Aqaba?
No, I'm from Al Qasim, but
Okay.
I live in Khobar.
Okay.
Yeah, I live in Khobar my whole life.
Man, so was it Budu Khan, the Pakistani food, Budu Khan?
Wadi Khan?
Yeah, it's that little, what is it? Oh my gosh, so good. That was one of my favorite foods over there. What is it? Yeah, the restaurant over there. I was living in the mall. So not the Dammam Mall, the one with Carrefour.
Rashid.
Yeah, that's where I stayed. I lived there for a year and a half. Yeah,
really?
yeah, it was fun. I dug it. It was good. It was a good time.
The restaurant, what kind of food they have?
Oh my God, I loved, so the Lebanese food that I liked over there was, I thought the Indian food was great. I had a lot of Saudi food because I went to a lot of weddings. So it was that big, like pressure cooked camel that you pick like, yeah. Oh, muskut. It's like the rice and the chicken, it's pressurized cooked and you sit there. That's what, oh.
We go, yeah.
You go to sleep after that. Oh yeah, you go to sleep after that.
Try mandi?
That was good. Probably. I probably did, man. I ate everything over there. It was the best food out there.
Oh my God.
I love that stuff. All the bread, everything was so fresh. I dig it, man. I loved it.
I did the morning. Yeah.
Nothing like it. Nothing like it. All right, so y'all go and obviously eat. Looks delicious, smells delicious. But hey, the basis is this. This is kind of the launch point of why we're starting this. All right. Number one, the industry is extremely volatile. I'm sure we all know that the oil and gas industry is very volatile. All right. However, what we're going to be talking about here is going to help you establish connections, and connections, all that does is create stability. All right. I know a lot of people during the pandemic or whatever lose work, and even now after consolidation, lose work. And it's interesting, even if they're VPs at a certain level, they'll reach out to me. It's like, hey, JP, now I can start building my networks. Hey, that's great, but in that time, in a year and a half that you didn't want to go out and start building your networks, what happened? There's probably about 12 companies that were consolidated, right? And there's probably about, I would say probably about double that of people of your caliber and your ability to actually perform your job, but probably do it cheaper and maybe even better. So when it comes to volatility, the one thing that helps is your networks, is your connections. That's what this is about. So everything we're going to kind of go over today ties into why your networks, why your connections is so important. So we're going to go over how to build that online, but we're also going to be doing that how to build that in person and come across genuine and confident. All right. The second thing is there are fewer opportunities. Consolidation when there's and please interrupt if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or whatever thing you want to dial into. Number two, there are fewer opportunities out there for professional growth. It's a do more with less mentality. So people aren't seeking external ways to improve themselves professionally and personally, but that's what this is for y'all to improve yourself personally and professionally. And that stuff should never stop. You should always continue to strive to push yourself. All right? The third thing is fewer mentorship and career path development. This is just true. Again, do more with less. A lot of people are nervous. We don't know what the industry is going to do, so they keep their head down and they're not focused on how do I develop myself, how do I develop others around me. So this is really you to take accountability for your direction and your growth in this industry. This is, I think, kind of why we're here. We are so good at corresponding with each other. We're so good at text messaging, email. When someone calls, what do? Oh, why are they calling me, right? Because we've gotten so good at corresponding, think how many text messages you send. Think how many emails you send. But words we'll get into this, words only make up about 7% of how we communicate, okay? And I know that we have a lot of students that are from, that English isn't their first language. Well, I got good news for you. The words we use is only 7%. It's our body language, it's our tone and pitch that makes up the other 93% of that. Please, I hope I got, that's 93%. Y'all the engineers, not me, all right? So because we're corresponding so much, that kind of hinders our communication skills. But again, communication is a skill that we can practice and learn and develop. And this one, that says responsible underneath that. The only person that's responsible for you is you. It's not going to be the company. It's not going to be your manager. All right? It's not going to be your circle of friends. It's going to be you that's responsible for your growth. Who you surround yourself with, what goals you set, how you communicate, and what limiting beliefs that you put on yourself that'll stop you from achieving those goals. Okay? Why do I care so much about this? because this is a problem. I hear about the issue of communication skills, of assertiveness, of confidence from a lot of leaders in this industry. A lot of people that either have their own companies, a lot of people that are in the training development side at different companies inside this industry. There is a need right now to increase your communication skills, because communication skills, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how good your idea is. It doesn't matter if you have a new revolutionary way to log mud or to do whatever. If you cannot communicate that to your team that's around you, and even the more challenging part, to communicate that to your boss who knows everything, if you can't influence the proper way through storytelling, through active listening, for finding out what's really going on by asking the right questions and responding that way, showing empathy. If we can't do that, then you're going to be stuck in the mud, all right? And also, not only that, so these statistics are high, I'm not going to get into it, but at the end of the day, think about the people that are actually leading companies, that are leading business, that are leading change. They might not be the 4.0 students, but those are the ones that know how to communicate the most effectively, right? Get their vision across. Not only that, inspire others, all right? So that's what we're going to be here. That's what we're going to be here. That's what we're going to be doing today while we do this. And again, public speaking, I don't like. It makes me very nervous. But again, it's a skill set. The more I practice, the more I deliver this, I feel like the better I get. I'm ready for the next step, all right? So a good way for y'all to even practice public speaking or communication skills, if y'all do study groups, try to take 10 minutes out of that and kind of one person gets nominated to lead the agenda, or maybe one person lead the wrap up. And at the end, critique. Hey, where could I improve? All right, what do you see me, am I fidgeting too much? So it's a real good opportunity and a free opportunity. People pay money for this, for what you're doing about communication skills. It's a great opportunity to set your own opportunity to provide some public communication practice. All right, today we're going to get into this pretty quick because the time, and also I want to pause in case we have a lot of questions. Number one, we're going to go over LinkedIn presence, on how to actually, what your LinkedIn profile should. Who's on LinkedIn, by the way? Majority of everyone. All right. Now you just got on. I respect that. I've known Noah since, Noah and I, we live in the same town in Texas. So number one, how to utilize LinkedIn as a tool, because that's what it is, it's a tool. I don't like social media, even though I'm on it. I understand the power of it, but we're going to talk about how to expand your contacts on LinkedIn. Not only that, the importance of building your personal brand. Does everyone know what a personal brand is? Kind of, right? Personal brand, at the end of the day, think about this. It's your reputation. That's all that is. So your personal brand is your reputation. What people see or think of you before they even meet you. And some people go, well, that's not that important for me. I really don't need one, yada. It's 2024, about to be 2025. People cyberstalk you before they meet you on LinkedIn. Just like if you're about to go on a date with someone, you're going to check their socials, right? Same thing with LinkedIn, all right? Then we're obviously going to phase and all this, because at the end of the day, building your network, that's important on LinkedIn and in real life. How to communicate confident, and actually, what's important? Is it the words? Is it your body language? Is it the tone and pitch? How do you tie all that stuff together so you can be not only convincing, but also have the people that are your target audience that are listening to you really believe what you're saying, really trust what you're saying? Because a lot of times you may have the best intentions and the best message, but if you can't match your pitch and tone and body language, it's not going to be met with confidence and acceptance. So if you think about your manager, if you have a manager that's kind of like shoulders slumped like this, this is the best group out there. Like, we have the best group here, guys, and all that. You're really not going to buy that. Hey, we got the best group here. We're going to go achieve those goals. We're going to increase efficiencies. Let's go do that. You're going to buy into that more. You're going to follow that belief more. Then building your elevator pitch and delivering the elevator pitch, and then industry do's and don'ts. LinkedIn. All right, real brief. Y'all are already on LinkedIn. There's a couple things that I'm just going to say about your profile I think is important. The first thing is, have your profile pic a professional picture of you. I have a buddy who used the same picture for LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Bumble, Tinder. It's like you got to change it up a little bit, right? So change your profile pic, have it a professional picture of you, okay? The only other thing I'm going to say is this. your descriptive title right here is important, all right? So does anyone know what to put there for your descriptive title? I can stand here for a second.
Wouldn't it be like something like who you want to present yourself to be?
Who you're aspiring to be, right? Shirt or hat? That's right, buddy boy. What color?
Black.
There we go, buddy. Hey, you look good in that. All right, so absolutely, your descriptive title needs to say who you are today, but also what you're aspiring to be. So you could say junior petroleum engineer, student, Colorado School of Mines, aspiring drilling engineer, aspiring production engineer, aspiring reservoir engineer. That way, the algorithms that the recruiters use to find people, to find students, you get picked up, all right? This other stuff, concise summary, there's videos out there. There's ChatGPT out there. There's a lot of stuff out there for you to write this, but in short, this is just kind of a brief introduction. Maybe you talk about your internship experiences, what you enjoyed out of it, maybe what you want to be, what you're trying to aspire to be, what your goal is. Don't put the company down there, because if I'm from Diamondback and I'm seeing that you want to be XYZ over at Oxy because you love Oxy because you did 2 interns, that's okay, well, I'm going to pass to the next person. So don't put the company. Put what you're aspiring to be. And this part is just your living resume, okay? Any questions about LinkedIn profile? Hey.
For those of us that aren't as, I guess, like good at taking pictures as you,
That's AI. That's AI.
well, that's what I'm saying. So we're able to use AI. You don't think it's
Honestly, listen, we use filters, right? Don't we? That's people. Oh, it's AI. It's like, dude.
companies don't look at it as catfishing?
As long as it's you, like, and not some other person, that's fine.
Yeah, I think it has to resemble you.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of companies out there that do professional photos with AI. So yeah, use what's out there. People are like, oh, it's AI. It's like, yeah, it's a tool. Anyway, so what? Yes.
What AI did you use?
I don't know. I think it was a hat.
Oh, sure.
We got 2 hats coming in. I think it was, I don't know, some website that's like professional whatever.
Or just get somebody to white background, the whiteboard there, and take a picture.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, that's it. So, yes.
So in the summary, can you put like detailed information about you or
Yeah.
just an overview?
No, I would put detail, but at the same time, as if there's a lot of stuff that's going to be explained in this part.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So like this is your living resume, all right? And when you are doing this, we're going to go over resume tips. Use action words. You know what I mean? Like built this.
Okay.
Did this versus I was part of a team that kind of built this together. That's not, you want action-packed words, all right? So what else?
On the experience part, if I have like an internship, like how much detail should I go into when I like explain that?
This is my perception. I would love to get your perception. I get a lot of resumes passed to me, and it's usually when the internship summaries are so light, it's like rotated around these departments. It's like, what did you learn from that? What did you gain? What did you contribute? So I wouldn't, listen, you're not going to list everything like I replaced the coffee supply and the da-da-da stuff, but I would think of key contributions that you were part of and maybe also tie that to a result, right? Like I was part of the drilling optimization team at Diamondback and we increased drilling efficiencies by 15%, right? So you kind of put what you're part of in that. But as far as like detail, do what makes sense, right? Do what makes sense. A lot of things, I'm sorry, I'm just last thought. There's a lot of things that we're all looking for that right answer. Oh, is this resume perfect? Is this perfect? Is this going to get me that job? That's all part of the puzzle that makes you you, okay? So don't miss greatness for perfection. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, don't miss greatness for perfection. Put it out there, something that you think you did, and you'll probably adjust that as you go along.
Yeah, I think for your first internship, 4 or 5 lines, maybe more. And then as you progress through and you do more internships, then you need to adjust that first and make sure. And then when you get your first job, that internship can just make it a 1 line.
Yeah.
And then as you're 10 years into experience, that internship's going to drop.
Yeah. Okay.
So it depends where you are in your career. If it's your very first thing, that's going to be pretty big.
Yeah.
But change it as your career goes on.
So for unconventional students that work a little bit that come back to school, so it should be the same. So For example, I worked for 1 year, and then most of my work afterwards was in the school, different research. Should I, as a PhD student, so should I highlight my PhD work, or I should highlight the work, for example, 1 year in Halliburton?
Well, I think the 1 year in Halliburton, correct me if I'm wrong, and you're the expert, so you probably, but I feel like the Halliburton stuff's going to be here. I think that's pretty relevant if you put the PhD stuff here.
Yeah, that would.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think anything that you're publishing as well, you would make sure that that goes into the main body and your experience.
Yeah? Dig it? Hey, yes.
You include like jobs in your resume that don't necessarily relate to your field of.
Like high school jobs?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I get that, yes.
Yes, at this stage of your career.
Yeah, yeah. Like, even if you're working movie theater, and if you're working at a jiu-jitsu studio, put that on. You like that?
Right.
Put that on so it showcases kind of like you, first off, you had responsibility in high school, right? And second off, it kind of shows that I think it shows you're aspirational.
You're
That,
motivated.
yeah, yeah. So yes.
I don't care what you've done. If you've got jobs and you've worked and it's being paid, put it on.
Now, once you get to like VP of drilling and completions, and like I'm looking at you, you're like 42 years old. You're like, hey, I worked at the I worked at the banana stand. It's like, dude,
You can drop
drop it, drop it. But good question.
And the same with volunteering stuff. If you've done anything that's volunteering wise, put it on.
Good question.
What do you think is more effective, writing the summary in first or third person?
First.
First. I mean, yeah, it's your page, so I'll do it I wouldn't talk third person. But yeah. What? Anything else on about that? LinkedIn? No? Okay. And if so, if you think of something, bring it back. So personal branding, personal reputation. This is pretty much how you start building your networks online. Is this that boring for you? No, I'm kidding. You got to go. Hey, connect with me on that LinkedIn. All right, buddy.
Bye.
So this is how you start kind of building your networks online. This is how you actually start connecting with people online that aren't in your circle. I have a question. Do you need to know someone before you connect with them on LinkedIn? Should you know someone first before you send a LinkedIn request? How many yeses? Who thinks yes? Okay. Who thinks no? All right. You don't need to know them. Send it. Send it. Send connection requests to people. All right. You don't have to know them. And listen, you might not hit every person that responds, but it doesn't matter. Okay. Your goal is to build your online presence, and that's through connections. Okay. All right. So we're going to talk about personal branding and how to build your online connections and how to actually showcase kind of who you are as an individual out there. All right. There's a lot of hesitancy that I see from students where it's like, oh, I don't have a lot of experience. I don't want to contribute. I don't want to ask any questions. Who am I? Like, I'm only a junior. I haven't cut that out. I think y'all have a lot to contribute to this industry. And I don't think you not knowing something or not having the experience should hold you back from actually engaging to build your personal brand, personal reputation. Because here's the deal. This industry loves students. This industry loves the next generation, okay? The more you engage, the more you contribute, the more you're going to start building your personal brand, aka your networks. All right? But hey, JP, how do I actually, what information do I put out there when I want to engage? Great question. So here's the 3 buckets that you can do. How are you doing? Here's the 3 buckets that you should start doing whenever you're thinking about your content. Think about how do I engage on, I pulled up LinkedIn, right? I'm scrolling, I don't feel like posting anything. But I see this is very interesting to me that I see this, this drilling rig just reached, automatic drilling rig, right? There's ways for you to start engaging in that type of conversations. Ask questions. Your students, did you learn something in one class that you can maybe apply to what's going on at the automated rig, right? Is there something that you're interested about, like, hey, would this AI application to something like this be applicable to that? Hey, no, that wouldn't, but thanks for asking. That would be more of this. You'll actually start learning stuff about actual professionals in the industry once you start asking questions like that. So, number 1, have you learned something new? Is what you're asking to be valuable for you and someone else? A lot of people are like, oh, I got to ask something that's really going to impact the masses. I need to ask something that's going to really impact 100,000 people out there. That's not true. If you learn something and one more person potentially learns something, that's all that matters. That's all you should care about. All right? The second thing is the experience. How many people had internships? All right. How many people posted and got engaged with people at their companies during their internships? A couple? All right. And then actually, once your internship was over, is that one of those things where LinkedIn takes a back seat until internship season again, where you actually start and then you start getting active on LinkedIn again, kind of? My advice, I get that. I see that happens a lot. My advice is just because it's not internship season, you're not actually at the intern, you're not working the field or in the office, something like that, don't stop LinkedIn engaging, all right? Because here's the deal. What happens around internship times? There's an influx of applications. There's an influx of connection requests. There's an influx of information towards these companies. But if you've already established your personal brand, personal reputation, and you're engaging throughout the year while you're in class, not while you're in class, but you know what I mean, while you're in school, if you're engaging throughout the year, you're going to be light years ahead from everyone else that's chiming in last minute, okay? So keep building your online presence through whether it's asking questions, commenting on people's posts, or even making your own posts. And honestly, I find all three of these buckets is an easy way to start getting engagement, start building a personal brand. The last one, and even if you don't have any experience, that actually leads into this. Having no experience and being vulnerable about that, being vulnerable, period, in this industry is extremely beneficial to you, okay? This industry is full of a lot of know-it-alls. It's full of a lot of problem solvers that, hey, this is the way we did it. We don't have to do this anymore. It's a lot of like, hey, it's oil field, it's tough, you know, like, come on. Like, it's a lot of that. However, I have found personally, and I've seen this too from a lot of contexts, the more vulnerable you are, whether it's challenges, whether it's something you know, something you don't know, maybe it's balancing being a student and having a job, all right? And maybe you found a nice balance and it's very stressful, but you actually found something that works, that might help one person out. If you can show vulnerability in your engagements and in your content that you're posting out, that is gonna stick a lot more than being an arrogant know-it-all that knows it all, right? I'm not saying anyone here is doing that, but you do see a lot of arrogancy in the oil and gas space. So be vulnerable. Ask questions if you don't know, and it's okay if you don't know. I've been in this industry for 19 years, and I know less now than I did when I started, all right? Because that's how this works. Technology is just mind-boggling. So another part of my business, I host these roundtable mini symposiums. We have about 15 E&P operators, 5 service companies around the table. And this is a table full of engineers. And they start talking like pressure gradients, hydraulic fracture, chemical mixture. That is so outside of my league, but I'm okay to be vulnerable and say, hey, listen, what are y'all talking about? And that actually allows people to connect more because someone to my right is like, yeah, I don't understand that either. Ask questions, be vulnerable, be yourself. Connect with people online. And when you are connecting with people online, let's say you're trying to go to the Diamondback, right? And let's say you're trying to go drilling. Connect with people in the drilling department. Don't connect with them to get something out of them. Don't connect with them for any transactional conversation. When you are connecting with people, use that as an opportunity to learn something about them. Hey, Joe, thanks for connecting with me. How did you get to where you're at? What advice would you have as a student in Colorado to get to Midland and actually start at Diamondback in this position? What advice do you have? Use this as an opportunity. Whenever you connect with someone, shoot them a note to ask a genuine question. Obviously, when we get messages, don't make it a 15-paragraph thing, but ask for a little bit of time. Ask for 15 minutes. Set goalposts. Hey, do you have 15 minutes just so I can ask you about your career path and maybe what advice you have for me? Number one, you're going to get more than 15 minutes. People in this industry like talking, especially about themselves. You get a lot more than 15 minutes. But number two, you never know where one introduction will get you. Whether they have a job right now or whether they're building a team and they say, man, this person reached out to me. They were aggressive, they were sharp. I'm going to connect with them. So you don't know the power of one conversation. Resume tips. Joe, I might need your help with this. All right, this was something that my wife brought up that I should be probably throwing in here. I do think this is important. I think this is valuable. However, I do want to stress something. Your resume is just a resume. That's not who you are, okay? That's a brief history of who you are on a single sheet of paper. If written correctly, it sounds convincing, okay? But at the same time, you still need to have your resume. Because I equate resumes kind of like the salsa at a Mexican restaurant. If the sauce is trash, the fajita's gonna be trash, right? That's the way you got to contribute, all right? So if your resume comes with a lot of misspelled words, a lot of this, a lot of that, formats is all messed up, that's kind of how I feel that you carry yourself throughout the halls, throughout your career. And again, please stop me or tell me if past what. So number one, technology's out there. That's obvious. Utilize it. Utilize it to not only customize your resume. So if you are sending your resume and you have it built, you're going to be customized to which job you're looking for. Find some keywords in those job descriptions. Tie your resume to that. All right? So if it's, I'm going to use mudlogging again. So if it's like previous history, leading a mudlogging team, whatever, all that stuff, you can put that in. So that way the AI, because don't get me wrong, because they're using AI too to go through your resumes. All right? Companies are also using AI. Customize it, okay? Yeah, obviously don't submit everything that's just ChatGPT, okay? Because you don't want to delve into too many subjects, because ChatGPT delves a lot. No one gets that. There's always repeats. Okay, thanks. My man in the front. All right, you get another hat for that. All right. Okay, anything about these 2 points?
I think your school will probably have an awesome career services. So use the resume template that they give you. Don't just go online and pick one that you think looks pretty, because I'm pretty sure that your school in the engineering department has developed one
That's effective.
That's effective and that engineering companies like the look of. So use what the school has. Don't just make up your own.
Yeah. So going back, that's a good point. Like I see a lot of cool designs out there, but you're right. What's effective? Yeah. So going to your thing about kind of your LinkedIn action words, use action-packed language. All right, y'all. Example, week, responsible for managing project timelines. Strong, led the coordination project timelines, boom. Tagged a percentage, tagged something onto that. Yes?
Just a quick question. The university has some template for the resumes?
The career centers? They should.
Do you have a career services here? Yeah. Okay, the career services absolutely should have a resume template for you to use. I'd be surprised if they didn't.
And if anyone has that, this is a great way to start networking and sharing experience and knowledge. Share that with each other. If you see something that's going to help you, I'll share it. All right? That's probably where it gets the format and presented. That's probably from the Career Center. I feel pretty confident that they have, you fill this in, use this. Quantify our achievements. Again, that's that 15% improvement in efficiencies, that 100% reduction in whatever, all right? Proofread to get feedback. This is always good to send out, whether it's to your classmates, whether it's to people, maybe people that you had an internship with before. You can reach out to your previous manager. Hey, can you review this? Get feedback, all right? A lot of times we get stuck, hey, this looks good. I think this looks good. This highlights the part, but you might be missing a big piece of your story, all right? So ask for feedback.
One of the big mistakes I see with intern resumes is you don't need an objective. We know that you want an internship, but a lot of the times it'll say objective to gain a summer internship with Chevron. And then they've used that same resume for all the companies. And we are not Chevron, Shell is not Chevron, and ExxonMobil is not Chevron. So if you were going to have that as your objective, just leave it blank and say, seeking a summer internship. Don't specify the company that you're wanting to get on board with.
Maybe they're using you to get to Chevron, though. You never know. You never know the power of networks, y'all.
Yeah, need to forward it.
Oh, I've made mistakes like that in my career. I shot the VP of the Delaware Basin at a major company in Oklahoma, and his name is Aaron. I was like, hey, Dan, can we do this? Yes. Yes. I haven't responded back to him. I feel horrible, but anyway.
I wouldn't bother. I just wouldn't bother. I would just have a resume that is good to go for anybody, because when it's career fair craziness and you're just flinging them out, you just want a go-to document that you know doesn't need modifying.
Yeah, having the company name there's not going to be like, whoa, let's get this person in here.
Right.
No.
So when you've been in industry for a few years and you're applying for a specific role, yes, start naming the company. But at an internship level, no, leave it blank.
So how important is the objective? Oh, sorry.
We got some hands raised back there. No, it's okay. What were you saying? Then we're going to go to you.
So how important to have the objective at all? Is it fine to just remove?
I would not have an objective. If you are looking for an internship and you're going to a career fair, where employers are there to give out internships, it's pretty obvious what the objective is. So in that case, no, you don't need one. Once you've been in industry and you are looking for a specific job, or you're doing a PhD and you're interested in a very specific role, you know, maybe reservoir simulation, and it has to be that, you don't want to be in production or completions or drilling. Sure, that can be on there as your objective.
Which is not the case usually,
Right, for most undergrad students, you do not need an objective on your resume.
2 questions back there.
Should we consider different resumes for different companies? I felt like, is that the same question? Okay. Because sometimes I feel like some of the companies are more focused on your soft skills, and you can tell when you go talk to them in interviews. Some others would be so much into your technical skills. And myself, I got comments like, oh, we're not detailing the queues on you, so like digging into the details. Like, looking at my resume, and instead of calling me for an interview to ask about the technical details of the things I've been doing, they want that to be, already on the resume. So do you think?
Are you doing a PhD?
Yes.
Then yes, probably. Because some companies like a Chevron, ConocoPhillips, who are BPs who are specifically looking to pick up PhD students, they will want to see the technical projects or thesis that you're working on. Other companies that are just looking for good candidates, and it doesn't specifically have to be a PhD candidate, they're going to be more interested in the soft skills.
I honestly feel like the same resume works for Chevron, BP, not Exxon. So they're probably another level
Yes.
of technical details.
Yeah. For undergrad, it's not necessary. At PhD, I think it would be useful.
All right. Thank you. Great questions. I throw a hat. Don't hurt anyone. We got stuff over shirts and all that stuff for all the questions in the room. We got swag. So I'm going to quickly go over networking, all right, the importance of it. But I really do want to spend the rest of the time on building and delivering an elevator pitch, because I think that's going to be the most impactful for y'all, because once you start practicing that, you're going to get more confident with that, and the rest kind of just cascades down. All this is to, again, build out your networks and to have more confident communication skills. So this, I kind of equate networks, and I always tell this to professionals. It's interesting, you get to a certain point in your career where you think your networks don't matter. Well, I'm a VP here, I'm a this here, I'm a president here, I'm a this, that. That's fine, but at the same time, there's a lot of people that feel that way right now that are dying to get some networks right now to understand, number one, to either source capital, to build teams, to understand what opportunities are out there. So again, don't stop building your networks. I say this, your network's like an insurance tree. All right, another way to think about it is your network's like a garden, all right? You don't plant a garden when you're starving and you need the nutrients, right? Like when stuff's hitting the fan and you need a garden, you need food for your family, that's not when you plant it. You plant when you have the time. You plant when you have the energy and the resources, okay? And this is something you want to stay active with throughout your career, okay? So always be building your network. So who do you build your network with? This is, as an I don't want to upset any engineers here, but this is actually not based on any data. This is just kind of represent an idea that there's a certain point. Obviously, when you start your internship or something like that, your academic record will matter a lot, okay? How you perform in school, how this, apparently that's a separator, all right? That's the way it is, unfortunately. However, very briefly after you start, and I started off at Noble Drilling, and probably about 4 or 5 years into that, I noticed that it didn't matter your technical knowledge so much as it mattered who you knew. And when I say who you knew, we always think about like, oh, if I know people, it's for a job, it's for a job. That's not necessarily true. Even inside the company, all right? I was talking to a gentleman in Denver, and there was a lot of people that were interning at this company. All right, he sent out an invite for a happy hour, okay? He said he got 0 responses. Not one of the 14 interns walked down the hallway. Not one said, hey, thanks, what is this? Hey, nice to meet you. Hey, what's your background? How did I get to where you're at? There was nobody that walked down the hall, introduced himself and all that stuff. At the end of the day, that internship was what, a 3-month job interview pretty much, right? He said, how am I supposed to recommend someone for this role? I don't know anyone. I don't know any of these interns. No one has tried to make a conscious effort to connect with me, to network with me. So when you're building your networks, it's not just to get a job. It's to, number one, understand more, because whenever you build networks, start having crucial conversations that are casual, you find out a lot more information than from an email, than from a text message. You find a lot more about a person through the magic of conversations. So building your networks, and like even if you're going down the hall, you need something from accounting. If you don't know anyone in accounting, it's gonna be a lot more difficult for you to reach your objective. However, if you know Pete or Jan in accounting and you have a relationship, chances are they're gonna put stuff down and help you out, all right? So it is all about your networks in the company and outside. I think of my portfolio like this. It's a third of who you want to be around, who you should be around, all right? And what need, want, should. I think this is something important to kind of keep active. And the more I actually think about this, it absolutely is something that you probably need to be cognizant of who you're surrounding yourself with throughout your career. A lot of times in our careers, and I've noticed this as well, even starting my own company, what you think is a circle of support, what you think is a circle of people that want to see you succeed and achieve, eventually you're going to start trying to take on new projects. You're going to start going for higher roles. You're going to start taking on more accountability, and you will find some people, I'm not going to say they're haters, but they're going to be shadow non-supporters. They're not really going to support your rise. They're not going to support your advancement throughout your career. Be mindful of the people you spend your time with. Are they there to help you, honestly help you, or are they there to stifle your growth? I know a lot of people throughout my career, they'll stay at this level because it's comfortable. They'll stay at this level because if they did something different, that's going to look kind of negatively upon. Oh, if they take this job as a manager, hey, that's a lot of paperwork. Why do you want to do that? You're going to find people throughout your careers that will want to keep you at a certain level through non-support. Always seek out aspirational and inspirational people, all right? How do you know that? You just know. We're humans, we're smart, we can tell by our gut. They have good energy, they're there to actually help you, they care about you. That's what's important. So again, recruiters, mentors, engineers, surround yourself with people that you want to be around, all right? I found out throughout starting this company, a lot of friends that I had along the way kind of stopped being friends once I started kind of trying to survive and thrive, if you will, all right? Be mindful of that. Don't listen to other people telling you not to do something. Listen to yourself. Trust yourself. Bet on yourself, all right? Anything about this connection portfolio?
So is the numbers percentage like a literally?
No, it's not literally. This is all conceptual, okay? That's what I do. I try to throw something so you'll remember this. Yeah, you're not going to remember, whoa, I can't have another person I should be around because I have to fill this. No, this is just an idea of, a lot of times we'll start like networking on this level. Oh, drilling engineer. I got to network with drilling engineers. But what about VPs? But what about potentially completion managers? Like, what about other areas to help you grow and have more of a robust knowledge about this industry? I mean, you could stay siloed your entire career as a reservoir engineer or as a drilling engineer. If you don't understand kind of what moves and what motivates the other departments, it's going to be very difficult for you to thrive 100% efficiently. Does that make sense?
You need a good blend of people in your group.
100%. 100%. Like I got people that's probably not good for me, but I got people that that are inspiring. So yeah, so you do need a good blend, but you also don't need to be stuck to the people that don't want you to go. All right, that don't want you to thrive. All right.
You should people. I think you can seek them out, even if you're not sure. Your should people are the ones that are saying yes. Yeah, let's try it. Yeah, great idea. Yeah, go for it. And the ones that are kind of like, no, I don't know. You know, like, why? No, I want to do that. Those are not your should.
That is the most annoying thing. Whenever you try something new and people are saying, well, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? That's the whole concept. Well, we've always done it this way. Absolutely. That's not how you get greatness, by doing it the way you've always been done. And that's a good red flag right there. That's a great point.
Just listening to their language that they use on an everyday basis. We'll get to know whether they're a yes person or kind of a let's keep you at this level sort of person.
I am going to say this. Networking in person is very awkward. You go in a room full of strangers, especially like professional strangers, all, gray hair, wearing suits and all that stuff. It is very awkward. Go to these network events. They were in your shoes before. They want students there. They love talking to students, okay? So you do 3 things before you go to a networking event. Number 1, you go alone. You're there. Great. Don't talk to anyone. You were there, you experienced it, but it's not really benefiting you.